Almost the exact same time, about 5 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot, two students from Evergreen High School in Colorado was also shot and critically injured. Thankfully, no fatalities. Well, other than the person who did the initial shooting, Desmond Holly, a pupil at the very same school. He unfortunately turned the gun on himself and ended his own life after attempting a mass shooting. If it wasn't for the safety measures the school had in place, such as locked doors and quick actions from staff and students, there would have most certainly have been another outcome. Hi, this is Crime Science and my name is Arnie. I'm not going to do a long intro on this one. I want to start by saying that you really need to listen to this video till the end, especially if you have children of any age. And do me a huge favor, subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure your notification bell is on and hit the like button. It really helps to show YouTube that this video is worth watching. Share this video with all your friends that might find any value in this content. So, on the 10th of September 2025, Desmond Holly, a 16-year-old student at Evergreen High School in Colorado, decided to take a ride and loads of ammunition to school. Once he started his spree, he fired 20 rounds in about 9 minutes. It was said that he would fire and reload, fire and reload, fire and reload. It went on and on and on. And as he did that, he tried to find new targets. Luckily, he came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He just couldn't get to the kids. Almost immediately, 911 calls started flooding into the dispatch center. Deputies were dispatched at 12:24 p.m. and arrived on the campus within 2.5 minutes, according to the sheriff's office. Now that's not just a bit more than impressive. The shooting had started inside the school, where Desmond shot a student, as well as windows and lockers. He was unable to reach more students behind the locked doors. Then he stepped out of the school building and crossed the football fields, striking a second student outside. He then took his own life. There is security footage from inside the school that captured every movement throughout the incident. None of that has been released at this time. Personally, I hope they never get released. It's easy for non-family members to say that any and all footage should be released, but would you still feel the same if one of those kids were a family member of yours? The two students who were shot are still hospitalized and their condition have not changed a lot. One is in critical condition and another is in serious condition. Let's talk about those two students before we dig into the mindset of Desmond Holly. The two victims are both also students at Evergreen High School, but only one has been identified. One of the students who was shot is 18-year-old Matthew Silverstone. There is no specific connection between him and Desmond, so it doesn't seem as if Matthew was specially targeted. An eyewitness to the second shooting said he saw two boys fighting near Buffalo Park Road and South Olive Road behind the school. During that altercation, he saw the shooter throw the victim against the street and fired a shot. In the videos recorded by that very same eyewitness, law enforcement officers were seen performing CPR on the victim, and he was identified as Matthew Silverstone. His family appreciates the community's concern and support, but said that they remain focused on their loved one's recovery. They respectfully request privacy as they continue to heal and navigate this road ahead. At this stage, law enforcement and family members are real tight-lipped, so we don't really know what the true condition of the victims are, and we also don't know the extent of the damages due to the shooting. Let's continue to Desmond. And I know we don't want to give someone like him airtime, but we simply have to talk about him in order to understand his mindset and what we can learn from this to try and stop things like this from happening in the future. Were there any indications that he was planning this, and how was it missed? It feels like this is happening more often, and the kids doing this just gets younger and younger. And my greatest fear is that we are also starting to normalize things like this. And I can actually hear you say, never. And I want to agree with you with my whole heart, but the fact that this is not all over the news tells me two things. We only want to hear about the death and not the problem, or we are starting to get used to this. And both of these options scare me to death. Also, before I start talking about Desmond Holly, I want to say that even if I'm so disgusted by what he has done, I'm still going to talk about him with respect. He was a victim at his own hand, but not just that. No one is born to become what he had become. What happened or didn't happen for things to escalate like this? And the other side of the coin is that somewhere in Colorado, there's a mother and father mourning the loss of a child and wondering where things went wrong, where they failed and what they missed. His family is 100% cooperative. Investigators searched the home the morning after the incident, and while they couldn't speak to exactly what was found, they said that they have learned that Desmond Holly appears to have been radicalized by some kind of extremist group. And please comment below if this was one of your first thoughts when you first heard about this. The Anti-Defamation League later told CPR News it flagged an online user now linked to Desmond to the FBI back in July. That was 2 to 3 months ago, and I'm going to come back to this in a bit. Desmond had been sharing symbols and code words that extremists use, referencing past school shooters. It appeared that Desmond was developing a deep fascination with mass shooters. He was expressing neo-Nazi views and was active on violent gore sites that we know at least 2 previous school shooters were active on, not long before him. As much as I want to name these sites and people, I don't think I will. My only reason for that is that I don't want to give any promotion to the sites or the people, but you are free to go and look it up if you dare, because you can get into quite a rabbit hole if you do. Social media accounts and online user profiles on other websites, which have since been taken down, show Desmond Holly posting as previous school shooters. According to the ADL research, in a now deleted TikTok video, he modeled some of his new gear, including a tactical helmet and a gas mask, and responded to comments about his plans. ADL believes Desmond had first created an account on one of the websites in December, so it took only about 10 months for him to escalate from thoughts to actions. He lied about his age in order to access the site. So this is just how easy our kids can get access to sites like this. Stop 1 second and think how scary this really is. Desmond was, according to them, not a very active user on the site, with only 7 comments. So does active only mean commenting or posting? What if he was logging into the site daily, not posting himself, not actively engaging, but just watching, learning, and feeling the burning desire to do things described on that site? Desmond Holly developed a very deep fascination with mass shooters. Research by ADL Center on Extremists indicates that Desmond Holly spent a substantial amount of time in online spaces featuring extremist ideology and violent content, ultimately adopting extremist views himself. Desmond Holly is only one of several mass attackers who have been active on this one specific platform. Do we not also have to hold sites like this accountable in some form? I mean, Desmond engaged with several comments in a manner that suggests that he was close to committing his own attack. He liked one of the comments reading, "You got close to full setup now, man, to make a move." He also liked the comment reading, "Just need a GoPro, it's gonna be cool," and responded, "A GoPro, battery, ear protection, and maybe a patch." Responding to another commenter, he wrote, "I'm planning on getting a camera instead." Does this suggest that he may have intended to live stream the attack, emulating prior white supremacist mass shooters that he admired? Under a TikTok post from June 2025, Holly had liked a comment asking, "Is bro gonna become a hero?" Some white supremacists use the term hero to refer to successful, ideologically motivated attackers. Holly also liked a comment telling him to acquire a white supremacist Sonorat patch, replying that he had some and sharing a photo of patches featuring a Totenkopf and a Sonorat. Both are Nazi-era symbols used today as hate symbols. Holly's TikTok account were filled with white supremacist symbols. His current account includes 14W in the username, a reference to the 14 words, a popular white supremacist slogan. He actually had more than one profile featuring numerous attackers who I also decided not to name. One was a very famous incel. And this is why I say the rabbit hole is so deep. Not only was Desmond fascinated by gore, but he also idealized other school shooters. He had a radical neo-Nazi view and dipped his toes into the incel community. Holly was active within the true crime community, otherwise known as TCC on TikTok, whose adherents have a disturbing fascination with mass murders and serial killers. A few days before the shooting, Holly posted a TikTok showing him wearing a black t-shirt with RAF written across the chest in red paint and posing in a similar manner to another shooter who killed 2 people during a school shooting last December. Holly had created this shirt himself, mimicking a shirt that one of the attackers wore in another shooting which occurred just 20 miles from Evergreen. Just 2 hours before the attack, Holly posted a photo of a and a box of on his X account. That's likely the he used for the shooting, but we still don't know where he got it. He had previously shared the same image on September the 5th on TikTok. Holly had posted images of other gear he had acquired over the past few months, including a skull mask, ballistic vest, gas mask, and a knife with a Nordic rune drawn on it. Holly's active presence on specific sites is the 3rd example in less than a year of a teenager using the platform, becoming radicalized and committing a school shooting or murder. This online forum in which users post and interact with extremely graphic and violent content includes videos depicting. It originated on Reddit, but was banned from the site in March 2019 after a user posted a clip from a white supremacist who live-streamed a shooting. Yes, it's really that bad. As ADL's research has revealed, white supremacist, anti-Semitic, and other extremist content is frequently posted on this site. Young people can readily access extremist content and visualize depictions of graphic violence that are celebrated by users on the platform, potentially desensitizing them to such content and increasing the risk of ideologically motivated violence. So, the question remains, how and when did this all start? How was it missed? And how do we prevent this from happening again? A seemingly normal boy who changed into a monster in a matter of months. I've left out so many details in this video, but like I said, I don't really want to wake up sleeping dogs by naming sites and giving other shooters any airtime. This is a crisis. Our kids are under attack and all of this is happening under our noses. And Desmond's activity was brought under the FBI's attention 3 months before the incident. And I don't see that it's reported that any action was taken within that 3 months. There was more than enough evidence to show that Desmond Holly is about to act. Let's also take a moment to send love to the 2 victims, whose lives are forever changed. Their road to healing will only start the moment they walk out of that hospital doors. What's your thought on this? Do you think FBI could have acted earlier? Do you think more should be done to close down those gore sites? And how do you feel towards Desmond and those who will follow? Until next time, bye.